shit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at...
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Rosen on 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rosen. This is taken in by Chad Williams. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got him in. Complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk.
Flex round!
Gatling to throw it. He's letting this one go for Fuller. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. A very solid gain of 27. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Jones has it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Being chased out left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Back to throw Etling. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll throw it here. Etling. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan.
And he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying.
Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bryant's extra point up and good. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here comes Josh Rosen and the Cardinals offense back onto the field. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Rosen. The pass complete to Justin Hunter. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Give him 30 yards there. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Etling. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Robert Kindici able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Here's Etling to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Etling. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense...
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
You looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. A good pickup there at 22. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Looking to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. They'll set up to throw. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Offense going back out there now, and we turn our attention. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Back to throw. Chandler Jones in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Back to throw here. Uncorks one for Davis. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for fourth down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They're going to look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on fourth down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on fourth down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Deadling to throw it. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Cameron Wake in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Wake in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Green 39! Green!
On third down, Rosen. And he's got Fitzgerald. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Fuller. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw, Etling. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. It's taken to the 26. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Danny Etling marches back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dime. Nice grab. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll throw it here. Etling. They'll roll him out right. His throw caught right around the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Rashawn Perriman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons add on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? This guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here, and we now proceed to the start of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
He'll drop to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. On play action, they'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Jalen Strong, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And
now the ball comes loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. Second down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days in Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass and you blew coverage on, what did you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now Etling. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches I've ever talked to, when they have a great runner.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Ted McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Falcons now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Gatling. All right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Rashad Perriman with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. And he puts it through. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Rosen will throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Third and long here for Rosen. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. He's knocking on that door for a 100-yard game.
And what receiver doesn't want to be part of the Century Club? Every receiver, when the game starts, wants to have 100 or more yards next to his name. It's a badge of honor, but it also shows that you're helping out your team.
And he has certainly been helping out his team so far. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's Hetling to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, a 22. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He'll buy some time right. Looking for Perriman there. He's got it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Offside. Defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons add on. Here's Bryant for the extra point.
And that's just another in a long line of passing touchdowns for him today. To say that he's been on fire would definitely be an understatement.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a third-quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. His throw incomplete. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurate.
Back now in Atlanta. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll look to throw. He's got this one complete to Perriman. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions.
And a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 30.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Nowhere to escape when he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but
touchdown Falcons! Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Falcons add on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
319!
On first down, it's Rosen. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, Rosen. Screen play, Johnson. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Give him 30 yards there.
as we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
This will be caught at about the 5. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
3rd and goal. Rosen under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one, because right now, this has not been his game.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame him for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame him one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Etling to throw it. Flush to his right. He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I absolutely love that play call there. They just came off of a big play. They've got momentum in their direction, and they come back and take the shot at the end zone. Just unable to complete it. I love their aggressiveness.
And you feel like the defense sucked. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Dawson able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it.
Touchdown, Falcons! Darren Waller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. Not only the completion, but that pass also gives him the record for most passing yards in a single game. What a day.
That tells you that the completion percentage is really high. Yards per pass, really high. But what a fantastic day. A brand new record, and we were here to witness it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. Right? This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Now Rosen on first down. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Dawson tacks on the point after as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now it's Barner. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And here now come the Falcons. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
After the interception, here's Rosen underneath for Johnson. And he he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Now Rosen throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hunter. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They'll look to throw on first down to Josh Rosen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Rosen again on 2nd and 10. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Rosen to throw on second down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go play action. It's Rosen. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And Dawson's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep. And got his man complete. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire this thing deep right side. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves.